Dear friends, today we have with us well-known nuclear physicist and former chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission of India, Dr. Anil Kakodkar. Dr. Kakodkar, thank you so much for joining us today. And we want to begin
Thank
the
you.
interview by asking you the breakthrough that India has recently achieved in terms of its fast breeder nuclear reactor. Why is this being hailed as such a big breakthrough? So we'll begin with that and then come to the thorium.
Yeah, as many of you may be aware, India is pursuing a three-stage nuclear power program, uh, essentially because of this large thorium endowment that India possesses. And in order to be able to leverage that for energy production, uh, one needs to create a large platform where you can irradiate thorium and produce uranium 233 on a large scale. And that required, growth of nuclear power generation capacity. And considering very modest uranium resources existing in India, fast breeder reactors were considered to be an important vehicle to sort of start with modest uranium resources and the plutonium coming out uh, as a result of use of uranium in thermal reactors, pressurized heavy water reactor in Indian case, and then use that plutonium along with uranium to set up this fast breeder reactor where you get a very good breeding gain. The doubling time is fairly short, and so the platform capacity can grow and realize the objective of thorium irradiation at scale, as I mentioned earlier. So what has happened a few days back is this prototype fast breeder reactor, which is a 500 megawatt commercial prototype of the fast breeder reactor that uh, we want to start setting up in the country. Uh, that has reached its first criticality, meaning now the construction phase is over and the sustained neutron chain reaction has been kind of initiated. And of course, one will do fair bit of experimental validation of the physics design, the thermal hydraulic design. So the so-called mandatory tests demanded by the safety regulator, and after that it will go to full power operation. So it's an important event because it ushers in the second stage of India's nuclear power program.
I also want to ask you, Dr. Kakodkar, that from a geopolitical and strategic point of view, how important is this going to be going forward, given that India has vast reserves of thorium?
Well, this is an important question, and the important thing is India's, as I said, economy is growing very fast. So the energy requirements are growing very fast, quite apart from the development deficit that we have to bridge. Now, today we are dependent on import of energy. Most of our oil we are importing. So to ensure energy security, nuclear energy is very important. And with thorium going forward, India can in fact achieve in not just energy security but energy independence because you have so much of thorium available on Indian landmass. And so India's program has been continuously oriented towards developing technologies that would enable to uh, make that happen. India would be certainly among countries interested in developing these strategies and these technologies. to move towards its own energy security and going forward towards its own energy independence.
What kind of timeline are you seeing here? Because it's taken us a long time to reach to stage two. Uh, Practically speaking, I know there's a lot of other factors that are not in any person's control. But how long do you see it might take going forward for India to reach that third stage? And also, are there currently any large scale reactors anywhere in the world that are using thorium in the manner that India intends to use it in the future?
Well, at this moment, thorium utilization on any significant scale is not happening anywhere in the world. So, Russia is operating an 800 megawatt fast reactor, and that's the biggest system currently operating as a commercial electricity producing system. And the 500 megawatt PFBR, which has been just reached criticality, first criticality, would be only the second system to produce energy through fast reactors. This is not thorium, these fast reactors. Now, this opens a route for doing getting energy from thorium. It will take some time. I am also advocating in the meantime that since we have a large platform of heavy water reactors, and that platform is growing because the nuclear energy capacity in India is growing on the basis of thermal reactors running on uranium. And so I visualize that to be an opportunity to irradiate thorium at large scale. So if you have, for example, a fuel made out of high assay low enriched uranium and thorium, then you can make a fuel bundle with the same geometrical configuration as the existing natural uranium bundle and use them in pressurized heavy water reactor and produce significant quantities of uranium 233. And then you can set up the molten salt reactors to make use of thorium uranium 233 system. But it is still some distance away. It will. So I would say we can start irradiating thorium soon enough in heavy water reactors if that works out. That's a short-term thing. But production of uranium 233 and running a commercial electricity producing reactor on thorium uranium 233, that may take, if you go through PHWR route, maybe it may take 10 years or something like that. If you go through fast reactors, then of course it will take a little longer. But I think the important thing is to pursue both routes because fast reactors also allows you some growth through doubling. So there is synergy between two. But if you say can thorium starts producing electricity on large scale today, I would say it would take a little while.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Kakodkar, for your time. And overall, I think a big breakthrough for India. And let's hope that India is able to use the vast thorium resources earlier than expected. Thank you so much for your time today, Dr. Kakodkar. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.